honestly, God will put you through a season where you really have to learn how to manage what you have before he'll give you more. And it says that in the Bible. And I believe that. I believe that even with myself now. Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Bree, and if you're here, I'm sure you want to be a fashion stylist, a fashionpreneur, or all these things. I want to let you guys know a little secret that people do not talk much about. Something that is so essential and so important that you really need to take account of. And that is budgeting. It is absolutely essential, y'all. Like, I don't know why it's not talked about much. So that is why I am dedicating this entire video to talking about how important budgeting is and how it will set you apart from everybody that is out here trying to be a stylist too. Like, honestly, it really will. And not only will it help you with your styling business, but it's also gonna help you in your life. And I feel like I'm even dressed today in like my boss mode, my little hair pulled back. I'm in my black dress. I'm just feeling like this is going to be a business tip video that you are going to want to save, keep in your back pocket, and use it because it's going to definitely help you. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of budgeting and all the business tips, let's talk about why it's so cool and so nice to be in the fashion industry or to be a fashion stylist. It's glamorous, you know, like it's beautiful to see red carpet looks, to see Instagram posts and brands of campaign shoots and all these, you know, dope models and stylists and Lori Harveys and Cardi B's and Beyonce, who is actually killing it right now. Not actually, Beyonce always kills it. But this tour and every outfit change has been everything. So fashion is amazing. It allows you to express yourself. It allows you to help other people express themselves. It's like one of those things where it speaks to you. It's who you are. It is something that defines, I would say, you. You can show who you are through your style. And so, yes, the glitz and glam and all of that is so important. But what's most important is budgeting, because how did we even get to those points? How do we get to the campaigns? How do we get to styling and shopping for people? How did we get to creating our portfolio? All of that came in with budgeting first. But for real, y'all, here's a reality check. It's so important to manage finances first before you dive into shopping, before you dive into creating your portfolio, before you even talk about marketing. All of these things have to do and start with your budget and making sure that that is on track before you do anything else. Maybe you're wondering why you even need to be thinking about that when you can just be looking at clothes online. You can just be online shopping. You can just be at the mall. You can just be creating mood boards and campaigns and all those things. But it is the secret weapon, y'all. I'm telling you, it's the secret weapon to you building your foundation and for the longevity of your career. I have worked with some stylists that maxed out their own credit cards because they didn't budget for a job, or they were afraid to speak up and say, you know what, you need to be buying these clothes. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things where it's like a relationship. You need to talk about certain things first before you jump all the way in. Well, we should be, but it's literally the same thing. Like, budgeting should be the foundation. It is your secret weapon, y'all. It's the foundation in which your fashion styling empire is even created and built on. Now let me talk about the whys. Let me take y'all through some whys so that we can better dive into more of an explanation, even a little bit of storytelling, so that you can fully understand how important this is. Now, we talked about this a little bit. When you set a good budget in the beginning as a fashion stylist or starting a fashion brand, it allows you to create your brand. It allows you to create your portfolio. It allows you to set aside an amount of money that will allow you to build your portfolio. So whether that be you need to stack up some money to hire a photographer, a model, a MUA, get some clothes so that you can build your portfolio, or you can think creatively outside of the box, yes. But if you're wanting to create a portfolio in order to represent you and your brand, maybe it's even you setting up a photo shoot for yourself you need to set aside a budget for that, because without it, you might overspend or might be allocating money in places where you shouldn't be. And personally, financially, it could hurt you. So you really want to be able to set aside a budget specifically for your tasks and your projects. And as you're starting out, the most important budget that you want to start saving up and setting aside for is building your portfolio and the things that will be needed in order for you to create that portfolio. The next one is going to be networking and marketing. When you have a good budget set aside, it allows you to go to certain events, connect with different people. Like I said, makeup artists, MUAs, photographers, you know, maybe it's even just a dinner or something like that. Setting aside a budget for your time to go out and network with other people is important. And I'll dive into the reason why you want to set all of these apart, but marketing is essential for your business. Now, maybe you're starting out and you want to do it organically. I recommend doing it organically in the beginning. I have a video where it talks about how to market yourself as a stylist. I'll leave it at the top. But you want to start creating ways to reach out and connect with like-minded people who are going to be a part of your tribe so that you can start growing and developing your brand. And as you all grow and develop your brand and projects come along, you'll be able to connect with them, get hired on jobs and all those things. But it starts with you connecting with them first. As you grow in your business, maybe you'll be running ads on social media. Maybe you'll be attending different conferences. There are different ways that you can market yourself as a stylist or fashion brand, and setting aside a budget is going to allow you to be able to do that and not tap into finances and funds that shouldn't be touched. Another is investing in education. Education is so important. The industry is always changing. It's always evolving. And being able to invest in courses and books and different seminars even, just to be able to continue to learn. Learning is something that no matter what, you should always be doing, because as you learn, as you grow, you're advancing, and it sets you apart from so many other people who are not learning. You know what I mean? Like, not even just learning in fashion styling or fashion and business, but learning yourself, a lot of personal development. One thing I will say is the biggest spiritual journey you will ever have is an entrepreneurial journey. And as a fashion stylist, you are a freelancer. As a fashion brand owner, you are an entrepreneur. You are a CEO of your brand. You're wearing so many different hats. You're doing the finances, you're doing the marketing, you're doing the networking, you're doing the branding, you're doing all these things. And that is going to be a part of the things that you need to learn how to do as a stylist or a fashion brand owner. So learning is the most important thing that you can ever do. Knowledge is power, y'all. Knowledge is power. And I know this channel is about fashion. I know it's about, you know, personal development, but I like to merge those two together because it will change your life. Like, it will benefit you and help you in so many ways that you may not even realize right now. And in so many ways that I can't even describe in this one video, but learning is going to be your best bet. Like, it's going to be what sets you apart from so many different people. Like, I read so many different books, not just about fashion styling. I watch so many different YouTube channels. I take courses. I'm always looking to learn something because it keeps my mind going. And it also helps me better understand my business, better understand, you know, the people that I work with. It helps me just to grow as a person. So education is powerful. And setting aside a budget specifically for education and learning is going to help you in so many ways. So even with fashion styling, yes, I have my course, I have my book that I offer, which allows you to better understand the business side of fashion styling. We'll tap a little bit into that here, but it's going to allow you to go through step by step so that you know how to set a budget. And, you know, not just for your styling business, but for yourself, because that's where it starts. You got to be able to take care of yourself first financially and set a budget for your personal self before you dive into tapping in and creating a budget for your business or for a client or all those things. It's gonna take you so much further than you could have ever imagined if you were to not invest in knowledge. All right, and the next one is going to be budgeting for your clients. Now, I bet you thought that this video was only going to be about budgeting for your clients as a stylist. No, y'all, like it's so many different levels to budgeting. And honestly, I recommend this video. Actually, this movie that I saw on Netflix, Get Smart with Money. I think that's what it's called. I'll leave it at the bottom, but you guys should definitely watch that because it is going to help you in your personal life and in your business. When it comes to budgeting for your client, you're going to need to know how to manage money. So that's why I said it starts with you learning how to manage money first for yourself so that you can manage your client's money and that you can make sure you make a profit. Now, I always talk about having separate accounts and separate incomes when it comes to how you manage your personal finances and how you manage your clients. And also, I talk about why it's important to have your service fee and then have the budget for your client received separately. Now, a lot of times I'll have clients that'll send me all of it in one, but in the contract, it says exactly what's for what. And that's why it's so important to have your mood boards first. It's so important to have everything in order, your contracts and your mood boards, your consultations, all that before you go shopping, because you need to know how much you're going to be spending. You need to know how much your client's budget is, and you need to know how much money you bring at home, okay? You need to be able to allocate how you're budgeting that one. Then, as you go shopping, you're gonna need to learn how to budget the money that you have for your client. So you're going to all these different stores. I did a video on how to budget and close a job, but I'll just say in this video, when it comes to allocating funds and managing your shopping online, when you go to stores, when you're pulling and, you know, the service fee for restocking fees and all those things, you need to be able to manage and see how much you have left. And that's why I always say keep your service fee and the budget the client gives you separate, because then you don't have to worry about tapping into your money. And a lot of stylists do that. I've been a victim of that, and that's why I'm telling you guys this now. Like, I learned the hard way before where I'm like, oh shoot, they didn't have enough, let me, you know. So you have to be able to separate those two, so you're not even worried about that. You can literally just enjoy it, and you're not worrying about, oh my God, am I making any money off of this? Or, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to tap into, you know, the money that they gave me for hiring me on the job to get some clothes. Like, you don't want that to happen. Like, nobody does. So you want to just be able to enjoy doing what you're doing. So having a separate budget for that and being able to keep track of your expenses and when you're shopping and and your returns, it's essential for your business, especially as a stylist. And I say this as a stylist or as a fashionpreneur, because as you're doing campaigns and as you're hiring different people to help you out with your business, maybe you're hiring people from Fiverr to help you with some graphic designs, or maybe you're hiring someone from Fiverr to help you with your social media. Like, you're gonna have to be able to manage your budget wisely. And that's even considering your rates and what you're gonna be charging for your services, your time, your gas. All of that should be included in your package price. And I think that's something that we don't necessarily think about when it comes to budgeting your money as a fashion stylist or as a fashionpreneur. I'm not trying to discourage y'all at all. That's why I'm giving y'all these tips. That's why I also, in my course, I actually have a spreadsheet that allows you to, like I said, manage and budget your expenses, your personal expenses, so that you can really understand what you need to be charging for your services, your packages. Even when you're doing campaign shoots or when you're creating your portfolio, just being able to really understand how much money you're bringing in and how much money is going out. Two apps that I absolutely love using. One is called Mint. Mint allows you to sync your bank with all the expenses that are coming out. So say you had your rent, say you had your Wi-Fi bills, say you had your cell phone bill, whatever expenses you have, you'll be able to connect everything to your Mint account, and it'll tell you exactly when your bills are due. It'll tell you how much money you're bringing in. It'll tell you how much money you're putting out. It'll help you set goals for how much money. I mean, it's just an amazing app that'll allow you to keep track of your budgets. And then the other one is Lily. Now that one is actually a bank. It's a business bank account that I just love, because it allows me to see everything. Literally every time I make a purchase, or every time I get some money in, it gives me a notification to my phone, like a text message. Now, I'm sure most banks do that, but with the business side, it allows you to separate money for taxes. It tells you how much to separate for taxes. It allows you to just see everything in the flow of your business and how it's doing. And it gives you financial tips. It's kind of like a little handheld consultant for your business bank account, especially for a beginner who really wants to get started. I think it's great for someone like that. But I just feel like Lily is, and it gives you a card. Like, you have everything you need. It's in your hand. It's an app. I recommend both of those two, Mint and Lily. And I'll also leave information for that down below. Lastly, what I'll say is, when it comes to budgeting, it's important because as a freelancer, as a fashionpreneur, y'all, who out here trying to be the next big fashion stylist, fashion brand, it's important to understand that there are seasons. Just like the Bible says, there are seasons, y'all. There are going to be high seasons. There are going to be low seasons that are preparing you for your next high season. And when you're budgeting your money well, you'll be able to keep account of your expenses and be able to be okay when a slow season comes. Now, for example, when it comes to the entertainment industry, and I say entertainment industry because styling falls in that realm, especially in Hollywood and like productions, there are seasons, especially during the holiday. The holiday is the biggest time where production shut down, y'all. Like, everything shuts down. And so there's not a lot of jobs. You know, you'll maybe get some here and there, and that's if you're on top of your marketing and putting yourself out there. But there are going to be seasons where there's not a lot of money coming in. So when you're budgeting your money as a freelancer, as an entrepreneur, it is going to help you not feel so stressed when those times come. And I know that as a freelancer, it can be hard. You know, it can be hard on those slow seasons. It can be hard as an entrepreneur when you are just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Especially during the holidays, y'all know y'all want to be out here shopping. Like, who don't? And we're in fashion, so of course we want to be out here shopping. So having your money managed, you knowing what's coming in, you know what's going out, you know how much you have saved, you know your money, y'all. Like, you should be knowing your money. You should be knowing it is going to set you so far apart, y'all. I'm trying to set y'all up for greatness. I'm trying to set y'all up because I learned the hard way myself. And I want you to understand that it's so important to be able to be on top. You're gonna feel so good. You're gonna feel so confident when you know where your money's going. You're gonna feel so confident when you know, like, I got this money saved up in this account. Like, I have 5 different not accounts. Like, I have 5, well, I guess you could say it's 5 different accounts. I have an account specifically for money to go towards my mortgage every month. I have an account, 2 accounts for savings. I have a business account, and then I have a spending account. That's 5. Like, I have my stuff separated because I never want to tap into, you know, the wrong account. And if it is something where I need to tap into, I'm like, oh shoot, well, I know I got some extra money there. You know, so just to be able to have that feeling and you don't have to have a lot of money coming in to know that. Just to know that I have something in another account, that feeling is going to be everything for you, especially when it's maybe those slow seasons. So before we go, I want to give y'all a little bit more tips. I know I just gave you some tips on like the different apps that I use and how I separate money and things like that. But I also want to give you some additional tips on budgeting. So the number one that I have is, once you know how much money you are bringing in, you need to be able to separate that money and stick to it. Like, a lot of times when we have, you know, some money coming in, we're so quick to spend it. Think about where your money's going first. Or if you have a way where before your money even comes in, it's already separated, do that. So just check and see if you can do that. But if you have some source of consistent income coming in, or even a freelancer, and you can separate your money before it actually comes in, that is going to be amazing for you. But I just say stick with it. Like if you say, okay, I manage my money and I have $50 that I can use towards whatever I want to do every week, stick to that. Don't overspend. Never overspend what you actually are bringing in. Just stick with what you got. Or maybe I can put $50 aside every week just to put towards my marketing that I want to do for my business or for my portfolio, because I know I want to start stacking up and getting some pieces, or reaching out to a photographer. Maybe I'll reach out to a photographer beforehand so I can see how much he'll charge to do a photo shoot with me for my website. Like, think about those things beforehand. Think of the amount of money that you can put aside after you do your budget, and stick with it. So a tip for fashion stylists, there are so many different ways that you can save money, and also that you can just be creative. Like that's one of them. Like just be creative. You can go thrifting. You can build relationships with other retail stores, maybe new brands or up and coming boutiques in your area, where they'll give you some sort of discount for doing a marketing campaign or working with them. This is something you really want to do. You got to think it through. You got to make a plan. So think outside the box, thrifting, up and coming brands, search them on Instagram. In my marketing video that I listed before, there are different ways where you can find brands, find people who are just like you, who are trying to build, that you can start working with. And then if you do break the bank, the third thing is just invest in quality pieces. Invest in pieces that you know will last. Invest in pieces that you know you can mix and match and make different outfits with. I saw this really cool Instagram post, and it was a woman that literally showed like 60 ways that you can wear one or two pieces. I'm like, I don't know how she did it. It was going real fast. But I mean, even if it wasn't 60 and it was 10, that's a quality piece. Like being able to find pieces that will last you a long time. I know I got some really, I mean, they were pricey, but I got some pieces in there that, I mean, they've lasted me for years, seasons, that I will consistently and continue to wear. So just see if you can find pieces that are quality if you are going to be breaking the bank. Like I said, make sure that you've saved money for it, that you've budgeted it out before you do that, because if it's a quality piece, it's going to be with you. It's going to last. And that's one thing about, you know, fashion styling. We got the high fashions, we got, you know, the lower fashions. We can mix and match. That's what we do. We're creative. We know how to put things together, and you wouldn't even know. You would think it cost $1 million because, I mean, what Beyonce say? It should take a billionaire to look this good or something like that. Like for real, y'all, we are out here as fashion stylists. People are coming to us to be able to look good and to feel good. You know what? Here's another tip. And this don't even have nothing. So look, if you are going to be building, and I gave this tip to, I think it was a student or someone that I was working with for their, anyway. So what it is you are building your closet. Say it's your closet, or say it's, you know, pieces that you just find. Like you're a collector, right? Like my mom says, people collect cars, people invest in things like that. I collect fashion. I said, okay, Mom, but say that that's you, right? And you are wanting to be a fashion stylist, or you're wanting to find different ways to bring money in. How about you take those pieces and you rent them out? You create your own little rental house. That's a tip for somebody right there. If you have a bunch of pieces in your closet that you're not wearing, people always asking you, oh my God, you look so fly, you look so cool. Why don't you use those pieces and rent them out? Make a little money off of them if people are wanting to use them all the time, or have them hire you for a photo shoot, have them hire you for an event. These are ways that you can start making extra money as you're building your portfolio. Y'all stay to the end. I'm glad. Let me know if you stayed to the end for that, because that is some tea right there. All right, I feel like I kind of talked y'all ear off with this one, but I just wanted you to know how important it is for budgeting, because it is literally, like I said, going to separate you and set you apart. Your education, your knowledge, and budgeting, those two things, nobody can ever take away from you if you master those two things. And I know you can do it. Like if you're committed and you're dedicated and you have your why, you are going to be set apart from so many different people, like so many people out here, because it's going to show your discipline, it's going to show your passion, your drive, your purpose, is all that's involved in it when it comes to planning and mapping. And I do feel like there are seasons, and I feel like honestly God will put you through a season where you really have to learn how to manage what you have before he'll give you more. And it says that in the Bible, and I believe that even with myself now. And it's so wild that this is the video that came to me to create with budgeting. But I mean, this is a word for myself, y'all. So literally just stick to it, learn it. If you are wanting to be a fashion stylist or fashionpreneur, whatever it may be, personal stylist, definitely look into my course, because there is a budget sheet there where it helps you, and I break down the reasons even more in detail on why it's so important to budget your personal finances, your business finances, so that you can start building the dream life that you deserve, y'all, that you deserve, so that you can go out here and do what you love, like for real. That's what we're here for. I hope that this video was inspiring. I hope that if you have any feedback or if you have any questions, you leave them below, let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.